Good morning, traders. Manny Cabrera, co-founder of MC Trading Academy, with our pre-market forecast for today, Wednesday, June the 25th. Let's look at our news items for the day. Today, Wednesday, we have 10 a.m. ISM non-manufacturing PMI. Yesterday, the market was shaken to the upside by some comments that were made by the Fed chairman in reference to potential interest rate cuts, which send the market above the 200 moving average, close above the 200 moving average with great volume. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the economy seems to continue to move stronger in a direction that we're expecting it to. And the Fed is finally understanding the actual growth of the economy, the expansion of the economy, and it wants to partner up as far as money policy in order to maintain and continue to fuel this economy. Economies fuel on two things: cheap money and good oil price. And so far we have both. So that's what we're enjoying right now. Let's look at our analysis chart. We start with our daily chart here. We see a huge flag here forming. We notice how the market retraced off the all-time highs. Nice retracement down. Market reaches here, this particular pivot here. And if you notice, I measured a Fibonacci from the additional run here at the end of December. This is when we had our big fall beginning in middle of October, all the way to the new all-time high that we established a couple of weeks back ago. You notice that it's essentially from that run forward is a 38% retracement to the dot. It's a 38% retracement to the dot. Two things that are happening here which are keeping the pressure of the market down. Number one, of course, coming all-time highs, people taking profit. We had our 80-20 crossover, which is a very critical crossover here in the market. So that's where we're going to find ourselves fighting. We're going to be fighting ourselves between the 200 SMA and this 20 SMA, 80 SMA crossover right now. Here's where we're going to find a lot of the battles going on. Now remember, this is a very strong resistance area. So we're going to find some pressure here. We're going to find some pressure when we go up to the upside. We're going to experience some selling pressure. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now the selling pressure may be long, may be short-lived, as we expect the market to continue higher, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Our ATR is above 14. Our average volume is over 1.1 million. When we have these particular numbers, that's what we can expect, the type of volatility movement that we've been having recently. Now let's look at our our analysis chart here, and you can see here we find ourselves above yesterday's intraday high. Okay, we broke above it in the pre-market with a couple of huge bars here. Market comes, retraces right back to that particular level here, which was the intraday high, but it continues its march to the upside. We do have a trend line that goes way back to the low of the market yesterday, which has held a couple of pivots to the upside. So that's a very critical area. But so far, and this is what I was trying to explain to you, we may get some selling pressure when we reach these areas. But the fact is that we have a lot of support down here. We have quite a bit of support here. So we're expecting if the market is not going to continue from this area, it's going to come retest some of these places in here before it continues to move higher. Potentially the first area is going to be this trend line that we have drawn here. And then from that point forward, we can potentially expect the market to continue. If it breaks the trend line, the next support level is going to be this area here. If it holds here, obviously, then we're expecting the market to move forward. Obviously, if that is not what happens, then we're expecting the market to move quite a bit lower, almost to here, if possible, depending on the volume that we have. But the first expectation that we have is market continuing to move higher. That's our first expectation. We're planning for that particular event to happen. Other than that, short side, we need to see a lot of confirmation before we start thinking about going short here. Now, what do we have here? Here's our trade chart. Again, we break through the intraday high. We find support on it again. We break through this resistance area established here. We break cleanly through it. We're in the process of retracing. The market can actually retrace right back to this area here. This is what we were talking about. And if it breaks through there, again, we're expecting market to hold here. We're expecting the market to hold here and potentially go retest those areas again. Remember, I spoke to you about support. We do have support at these levels here, but we also have strong resistance. We can look at it again. Let's look at our daily chart here. We have very strong headwinds here at this particular price level here, including the 20 SMA. Okay, the 20 SMA. So we're between these two areas here. So that's going to be the key. Just remember, think long on the pullbacks And we need to get the confirmation of this breakthrough here in order to start thinking short. All right, have a great trading session. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.